Hi everybody out there in Flosstube world. I am Chris of XrossStitch, and this is absolutely new to me. I knew nothing about Flosstube literally 3 months ago. I had zero idea that Flosstube even existed. And I'm doing this completely on the spur of the moment. I've been thinking about doing my first Flosstube video for a while now. I did that little intro and I've been thinking about it. And I was going to set up my space and, wear something different and make myself look more presentable. But right now, this is as good as it's going to get. Because I, haven't left my house really in a year and 4 months. So, yeah, this is it. This is my first Flosstube video. And I'm really excited because, as I said, I didn't know that this community existed 3 months ago. And I had not cross-stitched in years. Maybe a little thing here and there, just on the spur of the moment over the past couple of years. But I first learned to cross stitch when I was very young. I grew up in the South, and you hear my Southern accent probably. And a lot of the women that I was surrounded by did needlework in one form or another. So I learned to cross stitch rather young and did it for a while. And then of course, when I became, that was about middle school age. And then I got into high school and it wasn't cool to do that, especially if you were a boy. And, I didn't cross stitch for years and years and years. And then I picked it up when I was on the road with tours and things and put it down and lost everything I ever did and probably didn't finish most of them. But recently, especially over the course of the pandemic, I started getting back into my needlecraft. Started out with crocheting because my mother crocheted and I crochet and I enjoyed it. But then I thought, you know what, I should pick up a cross-stitch piece. And lo and behold, I discovered Flosstube and it changed my life. I have been cross-stitching nonstop and I've been loving every second of it. And I've been discovering so many amazing people both on Flosstube and on Instagram. I do have an Instagram account. There's not much there, but if you'll follow me, that will be great. I'll put the link to it somewhere as I figure this all out. But I have to do a few. I have to credit somebody who really got me started, and that is a delightful woman from the UK named Teresa Stitcher. I discovered her Flosstube and binged her. I binged, and because of her, I was inspired to do my first full coverage piece, which has been a journey. And I just love listening to her, and she and so many others of you inspire me, and that's why I'm doing this. I have a background in the performing arts, and I've been on stage and in front of a camera several times, and this whole setup is not foreign to me, but the premise of it is completely foreign to me. So I don't know why I'm doing this. I just want to take part in the community and take part in the fun. So just understand that I'm going to be getting my footing for these first few videos. I don't know how often I'm going to do a video. I don't know how these are going to turn out. And, I might even scrap this whole idea after I watch this back. But if you're seeing this, it made the cut. So what am I doing? What are my works in progress? I just finished something and it's hanging on the wall right now. So I'm not going to take it down, but I'll put a little comment. Okay. I don't think I am a certain type of stitcher, meaning I don't think that I'm going to be the person who does all Prairie Schooler or samplers or things like that. And that's fantastic. I like to do things that are very meaningful to me, that spark a memory from my childhood or something that I have, been part of the fandom for a long time, or works of art that I think are really beautiful. And that really speaks to the first three things that I'm going to show you. The first is a finish. And I know in Flosstube there's like an order like people do things in an order. They do their whips and then they do, which I didn't know what a whip was. I thought a whip was something you used on the cattle. Grew up in the South. But, you know, they do the whips and then the haul and then all that kind of stuff. You're going to, it's going to be flying by the seat of the pants here. But those three categories, things that inspire me, things that I'm fandom, or things from my childhood that evoke happiness, and things that I really still enjoy, part of, you know, things that I'm a fan of, like Star Wars, and the works of art that have been turned. Those are the things that I have started stitching. I'm starting to branch out. You're going to see in some of the haul. That's the key word here in Flosstube, haul. You're going to see in some of that, some of the things that I'm planning on doing. And I'm going to ask for your help, because there are a couple of things that I really don't know how to do yet. And I'm excited to learn. And I'm excited to learn from you, because everybody here, I have interacted with only a few people through Instagram, but everybody I've interacted with has been incredibly nice. And I can only imagine, and from reading the comments on other people's Flosstube, this is a great community. It's a supportive community. And I have tried to wean my way off of social media, especially Facebook lately. And I think that this is just a wonderful thing. So whatever, without further ado, the first piece I want to talk about is Snoopy Chef, and that's the one that I'm going to post the picture of somewhere right around here or wherever. But that was, I did a Golden Girls piece not a couple of years ago, literally a couple of years ago. That little thing to whet my appetite again, and it's framed in on the wall too. I'll post a picture of it first, and it was very small. It was a Clouds Factory design. You can find them on Etsy, and it's just adorable because I love the Golden Girls, and the Golden Girls has been a refuge for me during the pandemic because it's my background show. I put it on at night when I'm stitching, or when we're after dinner or whatever, and we just listen to it nonstop ad nauseum. We go through the whole seasons, all 7 of them, and then we start over. It's just great. So I crocheted the Golden Girls first. And then I didn't do anything for a long time. And again, a few months ago, when I said I'm going to pick cross-stitch up again, I found this design for my kitchen called Snoopy Chef by Les Rayons du Soleil. It's a designer on Etsy. And I loved it. And I stitched it and got it done in a couple of months. It really didn't take me 2 whole months. It took me about a month and a couple of weeks. But then I ran out. I got 17 stitches away from finishing a color, and I ran out. And I had, of course, to wait a week to get the floss. And then I had to wait another week to get the frame. And then I framed it. But it looked great. I framed it myself, too, so I'm real proud of it. So there it is somewhere. So that's on the wall, and I hung it on the wall yesterday, and I'm really happy with it. So I love doing that. Work in progress that I'm working on now is a bit of fandom. This is a design, and I can't remember the name of the designer. I will post it. And it's the Bless This Wretched Hive of Scum and Villainy. I love that. There's going to be there's going to be Mos Eisley spaceport down here with the double suns of Tatooine, and this is going to be a little bit more of a motif, but this is so adorable. And this is the kind of tongue-in-cheek fun thing that I will do frequently. I will be doing frequently. I haven't done it. This is kind of like the 3rd thing I've done. And I'm tickled with how that's coming out. This is just on 14 count Ada. I did make substitutions to the see, I'm very cheeky. I've already started substituting my own DMC colors for things. Willful. But I did substitute some of the colors, but the design's going to be exactly the same. I'm not modifying. I haven't gotten courageous enough to venture out into my own and change designs yet. But I'm excited about that. And this is a kind of a running joke between me and my partner. We say, you'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy all the time. So it's very fun. We have a good time. And this will go somewhere in our house. Now, here's the thing. Most of the things I've ever in my entire life, all of the things I've ever cross-stitched, I have framed. And being new, I did not leave a whole lot of extra for this. And I think I could frame it, but I don't know if I want to frame it. I think I want to make a pillow with it or something. And I don't know. I actually don't know if I'm going to do that or not, but we'll see. I'm probably going to frame it. And it'll drive me crazy, but to get it just right, because I am a bit of a perfectionist. Cross-stitching is actually quite good for that, because sometimes you can't be a perfectionist with cross-stitch. I mean, I have pretty clean backs. You know, if you can read it from the back and read it from the front, that's pretty good. But I don't stress over it. You know, I don't stress over the back of my work. So that's a work in progress that I have going now. I only have 2 whips right now. This one and Winter. And this is Winter. This is a design that I found on Etsy. Again, I can't remember off the top of I've got to get better at this. I can't remember the name of the designer who created this pattern, but this is actually a piece by Mucha from, he was a big artist in the Art Nouveau movement. And it's one of the 4 seasons. This is Winter. And the overall piece is spring, summer, autumn, and winter. But for my first full coverage, I was not about to tackle something that was literally 22 by whatever, by 14 or however long this is. So I'm just doing the winter section. I figured I'd start it now and I'll be done with it by winter time. And this is two weeks worth of work. I'm actually faster at it than I thought I would be. My parking is a little sloppy. I still haven't gotten all the doodads. I've gotten a couple of needle minders, and I love that. And I get my Q-Snap, which I didn't even know existed until 2 months ago. My Q-Snap covers off of Etsy. I'll post her too. I'll go through all this, and you'll have a laundry list of things to look at. It's very strange. You should always look at your lens as opposed to yourself, but we tend to start focusing on ourselves. I don't like that angle. It makes my bags look bigger. Anyway, back to the lens. Anyway, so this is Winter by Mucha, and I've got to get. There is method to my madness. This is all charted. It is all marked. I know exactly what has been stitched and what's not been stitched, but I can't stand wasting thread. So I have been parking both to the bottom and to the side. Teresa, little stitcher, I know that's a bad thing. I know, I'm sorry. I know you park down at the bottom, and I really do try as well. But I couldn't waste all this. Anyway, so I can't wait to document the progress on this as it goes. I'm loving doing the full coverage design. It speaks to some part of my Virgo rising brain. I love doing it. I can't do it all the time, which is why I alternate it with some non-full coverage projects. But I'm really loving doing Mucha. Okay, so now, those are the 2 things that I have going, but I've got lots planned. One is the Wizard of Oz Satsuma Street Secret Stitch Along. And this just started last week, the first. I didn't know what a stitch along was. I really didn't know what a stitch, and y'all do a lot of stitch alongs. It's so much to keep up with. But again, Wizard of Oz, big thing from my childhood. I loved it. So this is something that I really want to do. Here's the problem. Because I've only recently started, I have a Q-snap for this, I have a Q-snap for that, and I have a horrible scroll frame that's a split rail, inexpensive scroll frame. I won't mention the name of it, but I hate it. So I've ordered a nicer one that is on the way that this will be on. So everybody has started, and they've already started doing their borders, and I'm going to be behind, but I'm fast. And I love this color. Again, I stitch on Ada. I haven't made the leap to linen yet. We'll get to that in a second. But I'm so excited to start doing this because I even love the border. I think the border is fantastic. So Jody at Satsuma Street is going to be a regular designer that I go back to. Her stuff is just so adorably cute. And she did an Alice in Wonderland stitch along recently, and I may stitch it one day. But I'm excited to begin on this, but I haven't started it yet. So it's not really a whip, and it's not a start, but it's something. We'll classify this as haul. So that's one thing I'm going to start doing. And I've got all the thread for it and everything. I haven't made the leap into nice, organized floss keeping. I do, too close to the camera. I do, I'm a little old school at the moment because, again, I do like to save my thread. And if there's if I cut off a piece and I know it can be used again, especially in a full coverage piece where you have maybe one stitch that's floating around, small piece is fine. I'm still bagging. I do little baggies, but I do put the number and the symbol on them. And I know where they are. It doesn't take me anything to reach in and get one. So that's that. The other things that are in the pipeline, again, I guess we'll consider this haul. And inspired by many of you other floss tubers, the Proper Stitcher being one of them. She's from the South too, and I really, Annie, that's her name. I enjoy watching the Proper Stitchers floss tubes because she reminds me of all the women from back home. I'm originally from Alabama. She's from Tennessee, but my family came down from Tennessee. She inspires me too. So many do, and I will mention lots of you over the course of however many of these I do. See, I'm not looking at the lens again. I was looking at myself. I need to go get things done. Anyway, so I have never stitched on linen. And I don't know how to stitch on linen. So please, if you know of a good floss tube tutorial to stitch on linen, if you have any tips for me just beginning to stitch on linen, please let me know. Because I'm going to try to do Blackbird Designs Basket of Cherries on linen. This is part of a series it's the Garden Club series #1. And I decided I was going to start on something very small for my first linen endeavor. And I'm just going to do it on the linen that they call for, which is a 32 count cocoa. It's very pretty. It's not very big. It scares me to death to think about stitching on this. Firstly, because I can't see it. I have to wear my number 2, like these are 2.5 magnification. I look like Mr. Magoo. And I think I need like 3 times. I need better readers to do this. And I am not that old. But I have a big birthday this year, like a huge big birthday this year. I can see this, and I know you go over 2 threads. So, yeah, help. But Basket of Cherries, Garden Club Series #1 by Blackbird Designs, inspired by the Proper Stitcher and all of her many things like this that she stitches. I'm going to do this. Wish me luck. I haven't gotten the gumption to start that. I haven't gotten the gumption to start that one yet. The other thing that I'm going to do that it seems like everybody talks about are these Prairie Schooler Santas. I love this. Very cute. This is going to be hard to see. I'm going to have to, because I use charts on my computer or on my iPad. Like for my work, for my full coverage, I have my sections of my chart on my iPad, and I tick them off with my little stylus every time I do something. But yeah, 2.5 magnification is great for that. But and this I'm not quite as afraid of. This is what's recommended. What's recommended, the 18 count putty khaki DeVos fabric for it, and I'm excited about it. I don't know what I'll do with it, but I can sew. I can sew pretty much anything. I can make pillows, and what have you. So this might end up being a little pillow. I don't know, but it's all ready. I don't have project bags. Y'all have such great swag. You have project bags, and people do giveaways and things, and I'm so excited. We'll see. I'm not ready to commit to anything like that, but I'm more than happy to try. But right now, it all goes into the little Ziploc that I get from 1-2-3-Stitch or Everything Cross Stitch, and I'm happy with that. I'm fine with that. And that basically is the conclusion of my first Flosstube. This is my minor bit of haul. You've seen I keep looking at myself. I'm not looking at you, gentle viewers. I will try to look at you better. But that's it. That's the sum total of my first Flosstube. You saw my works in progress. You saw my haul. I don't have any starts. I might try to start something today. Not the linen. And that's it. But again, I'm Chris or Christopher. This is XrossStitch, and I thought that was a cute name, like Crisscross. Hopefully I won't get in trouble because of that 80s singer, but no relation whatsoever. And I'm sure he doesn't cross stitch. But so I hope you enjoyed it. Please like me, subscribe. This is what you all say, so I'm going to say it. I feel so weird. But like and subscribe to me if you want to see more of my rambling and my journey through this. I'm trying to represent the men in the world of cross-stitching. The Sunshine Stitchers. I love those 3 people. They're so amazing, and I wish I knew their names. But I'll link them too because they're just so funny, and I adore them. Stitching in the Land of Good Enough. She's so great. I love watching her, and the Vintage Stitcher. Oh my gosh, talk about accents. My Southern accent, but her Wisconsin accent, I could listen to it all the time. And she's so sweet and so much fun. I derive so much joy from Flosstube, and of course Teresa Little Stitcher. This is just a gush session, but so much joy from all of you. So I hope that you welcome me into the fold with open arms, and I'm thrilled to keep going. So have a great week. I just finished my first Flosstube. Take care. Bye. I'll have a sign off soon.